gonna make it. You're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different, man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it though. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions. They blocking your vision, but no, you can't listen. That shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're dreaming. There's no way that you make it. And maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back?
Hello everybody, and welcome back to episode number 6 of Unfinished Business, where the rules are made up and we don't make good enough points for it to matter. I'm, as always, Braden. Got Gregory over here to the right. Today we are going to be talking about the NFL Draft. We've got a couple predictions of places we think that some players are going to go. We're going to talk a little bit about some unwritten rules in sports. And then new segment for today. We'll get to that here in a little bit. And then, as always, we've got our top 5.
Oh yeah, the new segment's going to be fun.
I think it is too.
I think it was a good decision on your part.
I think we've waited too long for it.
Yeah. Before we get started, once again, Chandler's not here. He did not chicken out this time. It's actually a legit thing.
Watching a subpar football team, isn't
yeah,
a really good excuse.
Yeah, he's watching the B team in town play football today, but that's okay. But then he also has to wake up early tomorrow, take his driver's permit test. So
good luck to him.
Yeah, we wanted him not to fail. So we're doing this late on a Friday night, so we'll let it slide this time. But don't you guys worry, he will be serving his punishment. So.
He will be here next week, hopefully.
Oh, he will be.
Okay, well, that's good.
I already told him for sure he's coming next week.
That's what I like to hear. Well, and before we get into the content for tonight's episode, let's go ahead and thank our sponsor. So this episode of Unfinished Business is brought to you by Crafts and Creations by Kane, your one-stop shop for personalized items that will both amaze you and have your friends and family asking where you got it. Click the link in the description to be taken to the business Facebook page, or simply search Crafts and Creations by Kane on Facebook. Make sure to join the group and look at her prior creations, or simply check out our logo right there. And once you find something that you like, just message the group creator and she will take it from there. Join the group today and get your creations by Kane. All right, so we might as well just go ahead and just jump into the first little bit of information that we're going to go through, and that's going to be the NFL Draft that's taking place this coming Thursday.
Yep.
Let's see. So we're just going to go ahead. We're going to go through the top 10 teams, have maybe a couple trades that we think is going to happen, some different team needs of the top 10, and maybe throw in a,
Let's be honest. In the NFL Draft, the first basically 5 picks, that team needs more than just one player, but that's okay.
Oh, we'll get to that. I've got a little surprise. Or not really surprise. I got like a little jab at a team.
Oh,
but
does that team rhyme with Alice?
No.
Oh, okay. I just don't like the Cowboys.
Them too, but no.
Okay. Well, do we want to just start with like the draft order, or how do we want to start?
Let's go through the draft order first, then we'll go through and we'll look at each individual team. So the draft order as of right now, barring any trades that happen, between now and the draft, are Jacksonville at number 1, Jacksonville Jaguars. Number 2, the New York Jets. Number 3, the San Francisco 49ers. Number 4, the Atlanta Falcons. Number 5, the Cincinnati Bengals. Number 6, the Miami Dolphins. Number 7, the Detroit Lions. Number 8, the Carolina Panthers. Number 10, the Denver Broncos. Number 9, the Denver Broncos. And then the number 10 pick is with the Dallas Cowboys.
Cowgirls.
Yeah. Pretty much, they play like it. So
9 times out of 10, yeah. Okay, so how do you want to start this, Braden? You want to start with who do we think might trade out of the top 10 or trade into the top 10, or do we want to just get to the draft like prospects?
Let's dive into just the teams in general, and then once we get through the top 10, we can go through if we see a trade that somebody you think are going to trade up to a pick, we can talk about that, or then at the end we can see maybe if there's any other potential trades we think that are going to happen in the draft. So as we said before, with the number 1 pick being Jacksonville, they're not trading that pick. No.
A lot of the speculation is because Urban Meyer's the coach that he may go Justin Fields here because he recruited him.
Yeah.
If he goes Justin Fields, he might as well pack up his bags and be ready to leave
before even
to leave Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Him and the whole ownership and everything. It's clear cut. He may have not had a very good not senior season, but like last season at Clemson. But Trevor Lawrence is the number 1 draft pick.
Pretty boy of college football.
And there's other rumors that he already has the playbook from Jacksonville, which I wouldn't.
Why not?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, he's gonna be a Jacksonville Jaguar. I personally don't see how you can't draft him.
No. Why would you draft anybody other than him?
Yeah, and I mean Jacksonville needs a quarterback.
Yeah. Among other things, but
mainly but you know they need a quarterback. They need a guy who is ready to come in day one and be the starter.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you've had your starting quarterback the last couple of years float between Gardner Minshew and Blake Bortles, you have a problem. Oh yeah, I mean Nick Foles did win a Super Bowl, but that was. But
we won't talk about that Super Bowl.
But I mean Gardner Minshew, Blake Bortles, not. I mean. And again, Nick Foles not a terrible quarterback, but 2 out of the 3 pretty bad.
Yeah, and I mean Gardner Minshew has moments, but he's not a franchise quarterback.
Oh, absolutely not.
I mean, if you give me the choice between Gardner Minshew and Trevor Lawrence hasn't played a snap in the NFL yet, Trevor Lawrence all day.
You know what I am picking Gardner Minshew for though?
A trade?
No.
Best stash.
No, I'm going to be. He's my number 1 overall pick in the sequel for Napoleon Dynamite to cast Uncle Rico.
Oh yes, I like it. Hey, throw over them mountains.
Throw it over the mountains.
He probably could.
He probably could.
All right, moving on.
We've got the New York Jets who.
Before we move on, so we're both in agreement. Trevor Lawrence number 1.
Trevor Lawrence number 1.
So we're not even going to talk about Jacksonville ever again.
No.
On this because
we've got the New York Jets at 2. Their team needs that they had quarterback, wide receiver, running back, fullback, offensive line, defensive line,
an entire team,
new coach, new owner.
I mean, they sucked. And here's my thing. Quite possibly they were the worst team in the NFL last year.
The funny thing
somehow the Jacksonville Jaguars won overbeat them and I just got a notification on my computer. Sorry about that. There we go.
Well, the Jets are the worst team at being the worst team in football.
Yeah.
I mean, they were by far probably the worst. I mean, I think Jacksonville would have beat them handedly.
Yeah.
But I mean, they get the second pick, and with the second pick, I mean, what are you thinking here? Do they go with another quarterback? You thinking they go with like a running back, wide receiver, offensive line, defensive line?
Here's my thing. I personally think, if they don't go quarterback, it means they're giving Sam Darnold 1 more year.
Sam Darnold's on a different team.
Oh wait, so who is their starting quarterback now?
That's a great question.
I forgot. Sam Darnold is on a different team now.
Not anybody decent. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I do not remember who their starting quarterback would be now.
Non-existent, probably.
Probably.
Take a look here. Oh, well.
And of course, it probably doesn't even pop up.
Nope, the New York Jets do not have one on I'll look at ESPN here. But I mean, obviously, it's not anybody that is worth really mentioning.
We're trying to do this.
Well, I know Sam Darnold plays for.
I don't know why it keeps popping up as. Okay, so let's just be honest. They're going quarterback, is my guess.
Their starting quarterback at the moment is James Morgan.
Okay, so they're going quarterback.
Yeah, he was the 4th round pick. He was a 4th round pick in last year's draft.
Yeah, so they
From Florida International, for anybody that's curious.
Yeah, they're going quarterback, so they will probably take Justin Fields.
You think Justin Fields?
Probably. Actually, no. Who's the BYU guy?
Zach Wilson.
Okay. They will probably take Zach Wilson.
Okay.
I think he is more NFL ready than Justin Fields.
Yeah.
In my mind. A dark horse that is out there, but I don't think the Jets would take him, would be Trey Lance, who personally I think is going to be a steal in this draft, whoever gets him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that the BYU Sam Wilson is going to be the number 2 pick.
Zach Wilson,
not Sam Wilson. Why did I say? I'm thinking Sam Darnold. That's why.
Yeah, probably. But I'm gonna agree with you there. Zach Wilson from BYU, I think, goes to the Jets at number 2. I mean, just looking at his stats that he's had, I mean, his touchdown to interception ratio from last year, I believe, was 33-3.
Yeah,
with like a passer rating of 195.
Not to cut you off. The only other thing I could see, possibly, if San Francisco is true to their word that they want to move on from Jimmy Garoppolo, they could easily trade number 3 for number 2 and trade Jimmy Garoppolo and get a quarterback if they wanted to. But in my mind, if you're the 49ers, why would you do that?
Yeah.
When you don't need to, unless the Jets want to make that trade.
Yeah.
Just to know for sure they have an NFL ready quarterback.
Sure.
Which it's the Jets. They need something.
Not gonna mean nothing.
Gotta
have wide receivers and running backs and all that stuff.
That would be my only thing is maybe the Jets would make that trade. But even then, I don't know. To me that it wouldn't really make much sense for the Jets because you're basically trading away a pick.
Yeah, I mean,
unless what they do is just the Jets draft somebody, and then they just basically flop the players. But then it's like the Jets aren't drafting anybody.
Yeah. So you're saying like the 49ers trade like Garoppolo to the Jets?
Yeah.
See,
I'm thinking that could happen.
It's possible.
I don't think. If you're the 49ers, I think you keep Jimmy G and you draft. I'm trying to think of what they really need. They need a wide receiver.
The team needs that were listed was an edge rusher, a quarterback, and corner.
Okay. Well, I see. And here's my thing. Obviously, I'm a little biased as a Patriots fan, and Jimmy G used to be a Patriot. But I don't think you can classify them as needing a quarterback. He led them to a Super Bowl.
Yeah. I
mean, a lot of people are saying that it was the defense that led them. I mean,
yeah,
he's still a quarterback for that team, though. So I don't know. So I mean, if their needs are corner and edge rush,
yeah.
I mean, honestly, just looking at the prospects, I would go. I think it's Quiddy Pay out of Michigan.
Yeah.
I would not go Caleb Fairley out of Virginia Tech. Just personally, I would rather have an edge rush over a corner.
Yeah. I think that they can,
at least that higher in the draft.
Yeah.
Personally.
But I think that we both agreed that Jets are taking Zach Wilson. Where
This is the top two picks. I think we both agree.
Now the third pick is where we disagree, because what do you think they're doing, that San Francisco is doing? Do you think they're going to go quarterback? Do you think that
if they go quarterback, they're going to take either Zach Wilson or Justin Fields, whoever the Jets don't take.
Okay.
If they go quarterback, I think they go edge rush.
Okay.
But again, if they really want to throw everybody on a loop, they could trade the pick, which I don't
think they do that.
Unless they're getting something decent for the trade, I don't see why they would trade the pick.
Yeah, I don't think they trade that pick. I think they take somebody.
Yeah, I think they take somebody. If they don't take an edge rush, they could take that the Fairley out of Virginia Tech, or there's a corner out of Alabama.
Patrick Curtin.
Is that his last name? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's a top. The problem is, like, you're gonna be paying a guy a top 3 pick.
Yeah.
And that's the other problem is their team needs. You're not gonna pay an edge rusher a top 3 pick.
No.
I'm sorry, like, you're not. So I personally think that they almost have to go quarterback just based on,
or trade down,
trade.
Yeah.
See,
trade the pick or go quarterback.
They could trade down, but the only team that I could see being desperate enough to trade up that is already in the top 10 may be Denver.
Okay.
Carolina possibly. Outside the top 10, you have maybe the Giants, the Patriots, but the Patriots are not going to trade up to number 3.
No, I don't think
you're going to, because you're going to have to give up a ton if you're trading that many, like that far ahead.
And I don't think the Giants do either, because you'd still run into that same issue with the Giants of you're gonna. I don't know if there's really a wide receiver or a running back in this draft that it's worth top 3 money that you're gonna end up paying.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're gonna be sitting on a quarterback, but they already have Daniel Jones.
Who honestly, last year he had no run game.
Yeah.
None.
Out,
Saquon went out week 1, and with that offense, you need a run game.
Yeah.
And if you cannot establish the run, you're in trouble because they don't have much outside of that. So I guess with San Francisco, we are. Obviously we're not in agreement, but there's a lot of things that could happen with number 3 pick.
So do you think that they do go edge rusher and go with
based on team needs and what they need an edge rush. The problem is I think they almost have to go quarterback or wide receiver just because of it's a top 3 pick. I don't think you're going to pay an edge rusher a top 3 pick.
So you're saying either Zach Wilson or Justin Fields, whichever.
Yeah, I think it's going to be whichever one, and what they may do is have them learn under Jimmy G for the first few games, and then have them take over and try to trade Jimmy G before the trade deadline.
Yeah. This is where we branch off here and go a little different.
Okay.
I got them taking quarterback, but I have them taking Mac Jones.
Interesting.
San Francisco is big on Mac Jones. I think everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people have seen the comparisons between Jimmy Garoppolo and Mac Jones, and Mac Jones just being a younger version of Jimmy G.
Well, okay. With that being said, though, if he's a younger version of Jimmy G, do they necessarily want that? Because they're not high on Jimmy G.
But this is, I think that they can, with Jimmy G being a little older, I think with Mac Jones coming in, they can kind of transform him into the player that they wanted Jimmy to be.
Okay.
And plus, it really could be that Jimmy is kind of injury prone, to be honest.
100%.
So
yeah.
Mac Jones maybe has a little bit more durability. Maybe can stay in there a little longer, more games played, and really can lead that team a little bit better.
Yeah,
but with Mac Jones coming in, I think Jimmy G goes out. You want to know where I think he goes? There's a team that has a lot of salary cap available that needs an offense. New England. I think that New England can put a trade package together.
Well,
and that they can, and I think that because Jimmy G wants out. I don't think he wants to be there.
Yeah, and I'll be honest.
I think they put something together.
Belichick was very high on Jimmy G, and he was actually pissed when they let him go.
Yeah.
So I mean, I could see that.
It solves that quarterback issue in New England too.
My only issue with that would be they just paid Cam Newton a decent amount of money to play quarterback this year.
But they have the salary cap. They
do. My only thing is, what I see the Patriots doing this year at number 15 is they stay with that pick and hopefully one of the quarterbacks fall. But I see them trading up and taking a guy like Trey Lance if he falls or a Mac Jones. See, if Mac Jones falls that far,
I don't think any of them fall out of the top 10. I don't think any of them are out of top 10, and I don't think any team that's inside the top 10 is really going to trade outside of the top 10 except for maybe
the one that I could
Carolina.
see. Yeah, or Dallas. I mean, I could see Dallas trading out.
I mean, I could see Dallas doing it too, but they could be desperate enough for defense
because
or somebody
the reason why I could see Dallas trading out is Jerry already said that he thought his team was ready to win last year. Dak went down. Obviously, it's a wash year.
Yeah.
So if he thinks that he has a team that can compete for a Super Bowl already, why draft a pick?
I mean, but it's no secret that their defense needs help.
Well, it's no secret that I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender.
Well, yeah, but
regardless of if their defense gets help, I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender.
Well, I don't think they are either.
Because you're trying to tell me that the Dallas Cowboys, just in the NFC, are gonna beat a team like Tampa Bay, like I'm trying to think of other teams.
Rams.
Yeah, the Rams are gonna be good this year with Matt Stafford.
Yeah, they don't have Jared Goff.
So you're okay. Yes, the Cowboys should win that division. That division sucks.
Yeah.
So, okay, yes.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that they're Super Bowl contenders, but I'm saying that if they're thinking that they're Super Bowl, if Jerry is thinking that he's got a Super Bowl team, and that all he needs is a better defense. I mean, I don't think he trades down. I think he stays at that pick and takes a high-rated defensive talent. So I mean,
unless there is a guy that they are looking at who they know they can get later on in the draft.
I mean, maybe,
and let's be honest. I mean, a lot of the times defensive players aren't in the top 10.
Yeah.
A lot of the times it's those skill players like quarterback, running back, which I don't think there's any really good, decent running backs this year.
Not really.
I mean, Najee Harris, but I don't think he's even a top.
No. There's not really any real top cream of the crop.
If this tells you anything, I mean, I'm looking just at the top prospects, top 20. There's no running back.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, so that's what I think. I mean, that's what I think. I think they go Mac Jones. I think that San Francisco ends up trading Jimmy Garoppolo, and I think that the Patriots are a decent option there. That they could definitely take advantage of Jimmy wanting to be out of San Francisco. Take advantage of the fact that Bill Belichick liked Jimmy, and Jimmy didn't really want to leave New England anyway.
No, and I mean, and it's very possible. I mean, obviously that's why people watch the draft. There's going to be
crazy things happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be crazy things that happen. I mean, think about this: all 30 teams passing DK Metcalf.
That's very true.
And
for whatever reason.
Yeah. Well, I mean, could you imagine the Chiefs having that guy on that offense already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, number fourth overall pick is the Atlanta Falcons. I'll go ahead and start. I think they are in a weird situation.
Mm-hmm.
They're being in a top 4 pick. I mean, they have. I don't think that they're necessarily a contender, but they do have a pretty decent team. However,
I mean, they're still gonna compete.
Yeah.
But I would not label them as contender.
So, but the thing is they're in the kind of that same situation as San Francisco, as we said before. I mean, you're at a top 5 pick. Do you really want to pay top 5 money to a player that you're not paying, a quarterback or a receiver, and they don't need a receiver? I mean, I think they've got all the talent at receiver that half the league wishes they had.
They have Calvin Ridley, Julio. Who's their slot?
That's all you need to know.
Well, yeah, they have a pretty good slot receiver too. And I forgot his name. I'm not gonna look it up because that's gonna take too much time. But yeah, I don't know. With the Falcons, I could see one. It's kind of like the 49ers, but I think the 49ers have more of an opportunity and more of a reason to keep their pick. The Falcons, I could see them, if they get a good enough deal for it, I could see them trading that pick for later in the top 10 or just like right outside of the top 10. But again, I don't know, because a lot of the experts are saying that they need a quarterback, and yes, Matt Ryan. For what I mean, let's be honest. The Atlanta Falcons have not looked good since the Super Bowl collapse.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I don't think that means that you draft a quarterback.
No.
In that spot, and I know that we keep saying like, oh, this team's gonna draft a quarterback because it's a top 5. I mean, yeah, we're saying that, but it's because 9 times out of 10 that's what happens.
Yeah.
If they go, they're not going to go wide receiver.
Hmm.
But then again, they're not going to go running back either. They have Todd Gurley. So, in my mind, I mean, what's their needs? Do they need offensive line?
I
want to say their offensive line is not that great either.
Their primary needs were tight end, corner, quarterback, and running back.
Yeah, tight end. They got rid of
Hooper.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean,
and for the record, that's who I think that's what they do. I think they go and draft Kyle Pitts from Florida.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, if
try and get that replacement. For
if they go tight end, they could easily draft Pitts out of Florida, which would actually be a pretty solid pick for them.
Yeah, because I don't think they. I think the only other option there is to. Because they don't want to pay. I mean, there's not any standout corner that you could pay. Or that you want to take top 5, and I don't think that they trade down and take the risk of like a team like Cincinnati or even a team like Dallas taking a tight end.
Yeah, and
or taking their tight end.
Yeah, unless they because who is their tight end right now after Hooper left?
Hayden Hurst,
which actually isn't bad.
I mean, not bad, but
so honestly, they're either gonna take Kyle Pitts. Or they will trade, I think you trade down and you just grab whatever defensive player is there at whatever you trade down for.
I mean, maybe even if a team like I don't know, if a team like Dallas is desperate enough and wants to get that tight end, I mean, trade down to 10 and maybe take that cornerback and Patrick Curtin from Alabama. I mean, you're getting something off of Dallas, and you're getting
Dallas could be a team that would be, I mean, in my mind, desperate enough to grab a tight end because I mean that's probably really the only offensive position they really need help in.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they could probably use maybe another like slot receiver, but I mean, you already have CeeDee Lamb, you have Amari Cooper.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they go receivers. Yeah. So I think their best option would be if they were going to trade up to get that.
Now that you have Dak playing again, it should be a little better for you to really go and play the football that they wanted to play last year.
Yeah.
And I mean, statistically speaking, Dak was on pace to have an MVP caliber year last year. Before he was injured. I mean, he was averaging a decent amount of yards a game. I mean, it was because he was throwing the ball over the place and not really using his run game at all. But
also, if Dallas if they are, desperate enough, they may trade that 10th overall pick to Atlanta to trade up to get 4. And in that situation, they might not even draft tight end. They may go offensive line. I mean, because there's another there's a good offensive lineman coming out of Oregon.
I don't know if they go offensive line though. I mean, their offensive line's not bad already.
I mean, it's not bad, but I mean, you can always.
I will say that I think it is worse than it was a few years back, but they definitely don't have a bad offensive line at all.
I mean, with Dak coming off an injury, and I mean, you can never
True.
I mean,
that's true.
You don't want the same thing to happen again, and you can never be too careful when it comes to protecting their franchise quarterback.
Well, yeah, especially franchise now. I mean, the money you're paying him, you better protect that guy. Jesus.
Yeah, but I still think Atlanta keeps that pick. I think they go. I think they go Kyle Pitts from Florida.
Okay. If they keep the pick, I can agree with that. Like I will agree with if they keep the pick, they're taking Kyle Pitts. If they trade the pick, obviously we don't know who they'll trade to. So but if they keep that pick, they go Kyle Pitts. 100%.
All right. Well, going down to the 5th overall pick, which is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah. I will already tell you who I say they pick in this spot.
Who are you thinking?
They are going to pick. Well, okay. I guess I have to give you 2 players because.
I personally think it's an obvious choice who they take.
In my mind, they're taking Jamar Chase.
Okay.
If they do not take Jamar Chase, they're taking Devontae Smith. They're taking a wide receiver here.
You think they're taking wide receiver?
They're taking wide receiver, 100%.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think they take
That's
wide
fine.
receiver.
Like,
well, yeah, but I'm just I think
you don't have to agree with me. I'm just saying like that. That's what I'm saying that they do. I think they go wide receiver.
I think they take Penei Sewell, offensive tackle from Oregon. Joe Burrow had an awful time trying to stay in the pocket last year. Having somebody as a top 5 pick.
Well, you could argue that's the reason why he got injured too.
Oh yeah, I mean the number of times that he drops back and has to scramble to get out of the pocket to avoid a sack.
Yeah,
if you have a top five pick that's at least protecting his blind side for the most part, or at least doing a better job of what happened last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it gives them a little bit more security. I mean, could they go wide receiver? They definitely could. I think an offensive lineman, specifically an offensive or left tackle, I think that needs to be dressed a little bit more, and then you can go after wide receiver in free agency maybe.
I'm just looking up something real quick.
Yeah. So you're saying Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith? I'm thinking Penei Sewell.
I'm saying they go wide receiver, and the reason why I'm saying they go wide receiver is they can easily get another offensive lineman.
Oh yeah,
later in the draft.
I mean, yeah, they could for sure. And try and find the replacement for AJ Green.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're gonna. My thing is, the reason why I said Jamar Chase is Burrow was already thrown to him at LSU.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I do agree with your statement though. I mean, if they do not go wide receiver, they're taking offensive line because they need help.
They 100% need help.
I mean, let's be honest. The Bengals need help with more than just one player. I mean,
oh yeah, for sure.
But I don't know. I think if you give Burrow some more weapons, obviously your argument that he needs to have time to get the ball off is definitely correct.
Sure.
I don't know.
He does need somebody to throw to, though.
Yeah, but I think he needs somebody to throw to.
Yeah.
So,
well, speaking of having somebody to throw to, Miami Dolphins at number 6 overall pick. Their team needs wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver.
Yeah. The Dolphins are going to take either Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase, whoever's available. If both are available, that's when the controversy might come up. Where I think if both are available, the Dolphins take Devontae Smith.
Yeah,
and the reason why is because
that
Tua.
Alabama connection.
Yeah, I think Tua. I think he was still there when Tua was there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the Alabama connection. Of the two wide receivers, would I say the better NFL career will probably be Jamar Chase? More than likely.
I think that's who they take. I think they take Jamar.
But yeah, I can see that. I just personally, with it being the Alabama connection, I could see a case for Devontae Smith.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you can either selection or either player if both of them are there.
Yeah, I mean,
solid.
You're not
picks.
gonna.
Tua's gonna have a dynamic wide receiver.
Yeah,
but I mean, he's got to have somebody to throw the ball to.
Yeah, right now I think it's just Mike Gesicki.
He needs some help.
That's about it.
He needs some help.
Yeah, so we'll keep going.
Yeah, so this the number 7 overall pick, which is with Detroit. Team needs, they're looking at a wide receiver, another corner, offensive line, and they actually had a quarterback listed as team needs, which I found very funny because, and honestly, they kind of do need, with the year that Jared Goff had and how he's kind of fallen apart.
Here's my thing. Yeah, you can say they need a quarterback, but you just traded for a quarterback.
Yeah. Well, it could be along the lines of needing a depth quarterback.
Which,
not necessarily like getting a first-round quarterback.
Personally, I think, it depends on what teams do ahead of them.
Yeah.
If both of the top wide receivers are gone, they're going to go corner.
Okay.
In my mind. Because the offensive lineman should be gone. But by the time it comes to them, he should be gone.
Or Penny should be 100% gone.
So I think they go corner, and I think in my mind it's going to be. I think it's going to be Caleb Farley, honestly.
You think so?
Because they don't need a linebacker, I don't think.
No.
So I think, it's going to be, unless they go Jalen Waddle, that would be the only other play that they could do is take Jalen Waddle, the other wide receiver out of Alabama, who, for whatever reason, is ranked higher than Devontae Smith. I personally think Devontae Smith is going to be the better player.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are feeling that way. I don't know of many.
Yeah, and honestly,
drafts that have.
But honestly, it may work out for Waddle's favor because a lot of teams might. Like, in all honesty, he was supposed to be the bigger star at Alabama over than Devontae Smith, and he just I don't know if it was so much that he was just covered all the time that Devontae Smith was open,
really popped off, yeah.
But as you see, Heisman winner last year as a wide receiver.
Yeah,
there's a reason why Devontae Smith's draft stock went skyrocketed.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, if they don't, the Lions could you want to know what? Actually, I'm going to say this. They take whatever wide receivers left over. Okay. And the reason being is they have to give Jared Goff somebody to throw to.
Yeah.
If he let's be honest, he had a whole bunch of weapons with the Rams and he still sucked. So
true.
Maybe you don't give him a weapon. Maybe you actually protect him. Who knows what they do with this pick?
I can tell you what I think they're going to do with this pick.
Well, I'm sure you were going to tell me.
I'm going to tell you. They trade it. I think they trade down.
Interesting.
You know who they trade to?
Patriots.
Nope.
Damn it.
They trade 2 picks back to Denver. I think Denver trades up because they don't want somebody to take the player that they have looked at really hard and a player that John Elway really likes.
Trey Lance.
Josh Fields. Josh Fields at number 7 to Denver. Now, I can see, but what does Denver like to do? They like their quarterbacks bigger, stockier. They like them to be on their on-field leaders.
Yeah.
I mean, look what happened with. Comparing apples to oranges, but look what happened with like a player like Tim Tebow. Smaller, more mobile quarterback, didn't throw the ball as well.
Yeah.
Led them to their first playoffs for quite a while. Won them a game over the Steelers. Next year doesn't have a job. And who do they bring in?
By the way, you mean Justin Fields?
Whatever. Yeah, Justin Fields, Josh.
You
Fields.
said Josh, and I was like, wait.
Justin
a second.
Fields. Yeah. But what does the Denver do that next year? They get rid of Tim. They bring in that on-field leader and Peyton Manning. So, I think, and look at who their starting quarterback is right now.
That's true.
I mean, Drew Lock. And
true.
their backup is Josh Rosen, I think.
Yes.
But I mean,
honestly, I really don't know.
And the thing is Justin Fields starting over Drew Lock when he comes in the league? Yes. I think he does. So I mean, I think that's what happens. Detroit easily has an opportunity here to get something from Denver, trade back a couple spots, and still get a player that they're looking at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like you said, you have Waddle as a wide receiver. You have Jamar Chase in this class. You also have DeMonte Smith. I don't think there's enough teams in this top 10 that are looking to take wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So if they trade back to a number 9 pick, I think they get one of those three receivers, and I think they're happy with any three of them, or with any one of the three.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't think that's a lose of a situation at all. I think that's what happens.
I can agree with that. The only problem is, in my mind, if Justin Fields falls that far, that may be a steal.
Yeah,
to be honest, and it could happen.
The only team I think that would take Justin Fields would be San Francisco. I don't think New York would take Justin Fields. I think they take Zach Wilson, and Jacksonville's not taking Justin.
Oh yeah, Jacksonville's not taking Justin Fields.
So the only other team that's really going to take them would be San Francisco, or if Atlanta or Detroit are desperate enough to get a quarterback.
Which, yeah,
it could happen. I
guess you are correct on that. I don't know.
But yeah, you're right. Steal the pick at 7.
Oh yeah, Justin Fields.
Very impressive in his pro day, by the way.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, him, Trevor Lawrence, and Trey Lance all looked impressive.
Oh, so did Zach Wilson.
Well, I didn't watch his, so that's why I couldn't say.
Talk about a silky smooth release with Zach Wilson.
But so, yeah, that could be interesting with that pick.
Yeah.
And yeah, if Justin Fields is still on the board, I think they have to take him.
Yeah.
In my mind, I think Denver has to take a quarterback with that pick.
Yeah.
Whoever's left, I think they go quarterback because I know that they were high on Drew Lock. I don't think it's worked out for them.
No.
Now then again, you could say he doesn't really have a line at all, but
he's got a better line than Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow balled out while he played last year.
True. And here's my other thing. He might as well just be used to not having a line. He played for Mizzou, for God's sakes.
True. Yeah.
But with that being said,
yeah,
I had to put that dig in about Mizzou.
So you want to go jump to number 8?
Carolina
Panthers.
Yeah, Carolina.
Oh, their needs are offensive line and corner, by the way.
That doesn't surprise me about the offensive line.
Yeah.
And I don't know with this pick, I think. Okay. It all depends on. Okay, first off, if he's still available at 8, they're going Sewell.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
If he's still available, they take him. Do I think he's gonna be available? Absolutely not. So in my mind, I think they take. I think they take Christian Darrisaw. the offensive line out of Virginia Tech. Because in my mind, I don't think I think for them it would be more beneficial to have offensive line for Christian McCaffrey and Teddy Bridgewater, so their quarterback, right?
Yeah.
So I think it'd be more beneficial for them to have an offensive line over a corner.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you have a playmaker like Christian McCaffrey, you have Teddy Bridgewater who it can still scramble and needs to have time to throw the ball. I think if their needs are offensive line, I think you draft an offensive lineman.
But you think they draft him at 8 though? I mean,
yeah. Personally, I think they do.
Okay.
Because you have to have a line for Christian McCaffrey.
I'd agree.
I mean,
with that.
that's just. I think, and honestly, if he's still available, the Sewell is starting for the next year.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
So
for sure.
So I tell you what, if he's still available, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like, excuse my French, but that's gonna be great.
Yeah.
For them.
I'm thinking 8 blockbuster trade.
Okay.
Changes the course of a team's season.
Okay.
You know, and Roger Goodell goes up to the podium. Hears all the boos, of course.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, deservedly so.
You hear the trade sound, or you hear not the trade sound, but the little jingle, and he walks up there and announces a trade from Carolina and the team from Chicago, the Bears. The Bears trade up and do what they did not do in years past, or would not do correctly in years past. Trade up to number 8 and take the quarterback out of North Dakota State in Trey Lance. Andy Dalton is no longer their quarterback their starting quarterback for the year.
I mean,
Trubisky too, but
if they took Trubisky's not a Bear.
Well,
I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep going.
Well, I was just meaning like the last couple of years, like you have Trubisky or Dalton as your starter.
Okay. First off, if they did that would be great on their part. But second, I still think to start the season you're going to start with Andy Dalton.
Well, yeah,
but
you don't.
But obviously,
the idea is to move to Trey Lance.
Obviously, you tell Andy Dalton like, hey, you're just filling in for the time being, and Trey Lance is going to be our quarterback.
Yeah.
But
I think
that would be honestly, that would be a great decision on their part.
I'd agree.
Because I think honestly they pissed a lot of their fans off when they were in the running for Russell Wilson and weren't able to get him. So
I mean, it's just the tale of Chicago. I mean, you've had the opportunity to draft great quarterbacks. You have the opportunity to trade for quarterbacks.
Let's not bring up the fact they had a chance.
Happens.
Let's not bring up the fact they had a chance to draft Pat Mahomes Pat Mahomes and they drafted Mr. Trubisky. But that's a whole different issue.
Yeah. So, I think that's what happens with number 8. I think that goes to Chicago.
I can see that.
So, number 9, which would be Denver, or in my case, I think that Detroit trades down to number 9.
Yeah.
I think Detroit in that spot, I think they take... in my top 10, I think it'd be Devontae Smith, but I think it'd be either Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, or Waddle.
Yeah,
one of those three.
I agree with that, and I even said that when they were at 7. I think they need wide receiver,
and I think that they can afford to trade down to number 9.
Because
Carolina's not taking a receiver.
Yeah,
yeah. So Denver's not going to take a receiver if they move up. So
they could easily afford to trade down, save some money, and still get the wide receiver they want. Honestly, so
that would get a little bit extra probably.
Yeah, that would not be a bad decision on their part. So number 10 is Dallas. I think I said this before. I can see them trading out. I can see the Patriots trading in. That's just my personal opinion. I think the Patriots have to trade. I think they need to trade in. Unless the Patriots think that they can get, because here's my thing. There has been talks this entire last couple months before the draft and even this past week The Patriots are drafting a quarterback for the first time in the first round, ever under under Belichick. And personally, as a Patriots fan, it needs to happen.
Who do they? I mean, if they don't, if they do that, they have to trade into the top 10. And in my opinion, trade into the top 5.
Yeah,
well, not necessarily top 5.
I don't know, because
maybe at least top 7. In my opinion.
Yeah,
because I think if they don't trade into the top 7, I mean, Lawrence is gone, Wilson is gone. I think Justin Fields is probably gone. Mac Jones, I think that San Francisco takes Jones at 3. So you maybe have Trey Lance there, maybe.
Well,
if you wait until 9.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. They already said, and I mean, here's another guy they could easily take, Kyle Trask, out of Florida.
I mean, they could.
Who's not a bad quarterback.
He's not, but I mean, he's definitely. I mean, there's definitely a skill gap between the player
Well, no, yeah, 100%. But yeah, I mean, and like we always say, I mean, it depends on obviously who other teams take, how the draft's playing out. Obviously, I mean, if they're high on one of these quarterbacks, I can see them making a move to try to trade even higher than 10. I was just saying 10 because I'm thinking, one of those guys may still be there at 10. Sure. I mean, if they're not there, we're saying that the top 5 quarterbacks out of college football are all taken in the top 10, which would be insane.
Oh yeah.
But easily this could be the year it happens because the other skill positions, I mean, maybe the wide receiver, but running back, I don't think there's going to be a running back taken in the first round.
No, probably
maybe not. Najee Harris, but even then, I don't.
Round.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be in the first round.
No.
So in my mind, it just depends on what teams take, but the Patriots need to draft a quarterback. Cam Newton's not their future. They need to draft a quarterback that they're going to be able to develop the first year under Cam Newton and under Bill Belichick, learn the system, and be ready to go year 2. Because I think this Cam Newton thing is just one more year, he's gone, and they're hoping maybe this year he can show highlights of what he did in Carolina when he won MVP, and they're hoping to get to raise his value and maybe trade him at trade deadline, and then just bring in whatever rookie they have.
Yeah.
And I don't know. As a Patriots fan, they have to do something because, first off, I mean, obviously losing a guy like Tom Brady to free agency is already hard enough. But as a Patriots fan, having to watch Cam Newton at quarterback last year made me want to hit myself upside the head with a brick because, oh my God, like when you have the ball first and goal from the 3-yard line and you run the same QB draw 4 plays in a row and can't score.
You know who would have scored on that? Tim Tebow.
Probably any fucking player like
Tim Tebow
over Cam Newton. Like, Jesus Christ, it's not hard.
Maybe they should try and sign Tim Tebow. He's done with his baseball career now.
They already had Tim Tebow once, Braden. I don't want to see it again.
It's a better option than Cam Newton.
At running back, maybe.
I mean, that's all. I mean, yeah.
It's probably a better option than Sony Michel.
You know what happens? Book it. Bill Belichick's going to work his magic. He's going to make a couple phone calls, a couple discreet conversations. He's going to trade Cam Newton in a bag of footballs for the number 1 overall pick and get Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, yeah.
He's going to work his magic.
He's going
to make those discreet phone calls, have those discreet conversations.
Robert Kraft's going to tell Urban Meyer about his secret little massage parlor.
No, that's the conversation he had with Deshaun Watson. That's
why.
That's why he's in his issue.
There we go.
Speaking of which, Houston, they need a quarterback.
That is true. They may trade it in the top 10.
That's very true. I didn't think about that.
Deshaun Watson isn't playing this year. Or I guess. Okay.
I mean, he can appeal.
Okay.
But
well, no. I mean, I don't think he's been suspended yet. This is what pisses me off. Okay, I'm just trying to bring this up, and this is a whole different topic. And I know we're already an hour into like just the NFL, but
the rest won't take.
Okay, this is what pisses me off. Ray Rice,
yeah,
is suspended obviously beat the hell out of his girlfriend.
There's
video.
I was for sure that he was suspended before video even came out. Wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure.
Like, it was just rumors. I think it was literally just rumors, and that it was like saying that there was video evidence.
Yeah, he was suspended, and then he was released when people actually saw the video.
Yeah, because he was suspended before the video came out. But it was just there was evidence, but the video hadn't been shown.
So this is what pisses me off.
Could have been internally shown, but
is Deshaun Watson has 23 separate civil suits against him right now.
Yeah.
And has yet to be suspended. And yes, I understand.
Not looking good.
Yeah, I fully understand innocent until proven guilty. I preach that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But if the NFL's policy that they have set out is if there is something in an argument. I mean, Antonio Brown.
Oh yeah.
With his stuff, suspended. I don't see how you can tell me that a domestic violence is worse than possible sexual assault on 23 women.
Yeah. Like
I hope I don't cause an argument on any of these comments, but
yeah,
I don't see the difference personally.
Yeah,
and honestly, I think I see if this is true with what Deshaun Watson is, and like I said, innocent until proven guilty. I understand that, but 23 civil suits.
Something ain't right.
You can't tell me that
something's not right.
Yeah, you can't tell me 23 people are coming up and just making up stories.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but if
it was just, you never know. They might have the group convo on the text. Maybe there's a national massage therapist group chat that just goes crazy.
But here's the thing though. Even Antonio Brown, with all of his the college stuff that was years ago, I'm pretty sure he was still suspended for so many games.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see how you can't. I don't see how Roger Goodell has not come out and said...
Because it's Roger Goodell.
Well, but I don't see how he hasn't come out and said, okay, Deshaun Watson, you're on the player exempt list until this stuff is taken care of, and we will tell you how many games you're suspended for.
Yeah.
Unless what they're doing is... Because I know that Antonio Brown played the one or two games with New England while all of his stuff was going on. And then he was released to where another team could have signed him while his stuff was going on. So I don't know if maybe that's the policy, but I still don't agree with the policy of domestic violence is somehow worse than sexual assault. I don't agree with that policy.
Yeah.
Because you're basically saying, oh hey, it's okay if you rape a woman, or I guess men, and we don't want to do all that, but. It's okay to rape somebody, but you can't beat the shit out of them.
And obviously, it's not okay to rape anybody.
Well, yeah, and then we're not saying that. That's the policy.
It's not okay to rape anybody. It's not okay to assault anybody.
It's not okay to
sexually assault or physically assault or mentally or verbally.
No means no, Patrick Kane. Sorry, that's a bad joke. Okay, we need to get off this topic.
Okay, yeah, let's get off the topic. I never said who I thought Dallas would take at 10, but they're taking Patrick Curtin, I think.
Okay.
Just to get back on that, and then we're gonna wrap it up with that. So
I went off on a tangent there.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. So that's top 10. I don't and we could get into, the rest of the first round, but it's gonna take too much time.
That's too much time.
That's honestly a lot more information of the NFL than I know about.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
with that being said, we hinted at a new segment.
Yeah,
we're going to jump into that.
You got this segment?
I do.
I like it.
The new segment that we're going to be rolling through every week is going to be on this date in sports history.
And when we say on this date, we're talking about today, April 23rd.
So, on this
Currently,
date,
it is about 11 o'clock at night, so... Yeah, but it's still April 23rd.
So, and there were some good ones. There were some good ones from today. So, on this date, April 23rd, in 1954, Hammer and Hank Aaron hits his first ever home run.
Ooh!
Yeah.
In my mind, still the home run king.
Also, Ted Williams hit his first home run today, or in 1939.
Okay. Well, I must say, definitely not the same year.
It wasn't today either.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
let's see. Looking at 1962, the New York Mets win their first game as a franchise after starting their year 0-9.
Hey, congrats. Congrats.
And for all you Cowboy fans out there, in 1989, the Cowboys draft Troy Aikman.
Troy Aikman.
On this day
For
in
a sec-
sports history.
For a second, I thought you were gonna say won their last Super Bowl for a while, but
No.
also for all you Cowboys fans, remember your last Super Bowl is still on VHS. Congratulations.
It's very true. But yeah, that was on this date in sports history.
Hey, that was pretty nice.
Nothing crazy, but I mean, Hammer and Hank hitting his first home run.
Oh, dude,
Ted Williams hitting his first home run.
Hammer and Hank. Wait, you said that Ted Williams was not on this date.
Yeah, it was. Well, it was on this date in 1939, but it wasn't today. Like, it wasn't April 23rd, 2021.
Well, yeah. Well, duh.
Well, I'm just saying.
You're confusing me.
Well, because I said today, then I said, well, not today.
Well, okay, yeah, like on this day.
Yeah.
Like the date.
So,
not the not okay, yeah, just
Yeah.
It's too late to be just discussing this shit right now.
Well, let's go ahead and jump into some unwritten rules here.
Oh, I like this topic. Unwritten rules of sports. Let's go.
Well, and it is getting a little warm in here. So,
What the fuck?
speaking about some rules, we're gonna get the referee jersey out here.
I forgot you had that.
It's non-official. This is a non-official referee hat, by the way. But
Where's your whistle?
I don't have it. They took it away from me.
Probably for blowing it too much.
Yeah. Well, those Pee-wee kids need to learn how to play.
That's so bad.
So the topic of unwritten rules has been a popular topic in sports here the last couple of years, and
I think it all started with that bat flip.
yeah, I mean the bat flip with Jose Bautista, the fight that happened, then the
don't hang a curveball.
Then the Fernando Tatis grand slam, 3-0 count, already up a lot.
Hey,
it's really it's not just baseball. It's just that's what we
that's
what we know most about. But
a lot of the unwritten rules in sports,
it is baseball.
a lot of it's baseball.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you have the unwritten rules of, like, basketball, don't run the score up, football as well.
Okay, speaking of basketball, because this happened in a college game, and I'm pretty sure the guy got teed up for this. Do you agree that basketball should play until the final whistle, no matter what the score is? Because I'm pretty sure that a guy, I forgot what team this was, but there's a video of it. If I can find it, I'll try to like send it to you. But the other team was up by maybe 10 with 10 seconds left. But he stole the ball and went down and dunked it.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And
I also
I'm pretty sure he got teed up for it because the guy
started a fight.
Well, but here's my thing. All he's trying to do is play until the last whistle.
I mean, pad stats, but yeah.
No, but his team was down.
Well, I know.
I mean, okay, yeah,
he's padding stats.
Well, yeah, you're not gonna score 10, 15 points in a matter of 10 seconds.
I did also see a high school. It was a video of a high school game where the team was down by 40, and then the team stole the ball and went down and missed 3 layups to end the game. But yeah, explained why the team,
the winning team,
the
did
losing
that?
team.
Oh, okay.
It explained why they lost by 40.
Yeah,
but
that's embarrassing.
But yeah, so I guess the unwritten rule is more based on, should there be unwritten rules? Are there some rules that are unwritten that are seen as, I guess, more prevalent and should be seen as more of a written rule, or it's unwritten, but something that should be obeyed and should be followed, and some that shouldn't be.
Should there be unwritten rules? Yes.
Okay.
Does that mean all of the unwritten rules are valid? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that.
Yeah, so
I mean, I think the best way to do this would just be kind of go through and just say some of the unwritten rules we have down.
Yeah, I mean,
is what I would say.
A lot of the, like we said before, a lot of the ones that we personally know are going to be baseball because, I mean, we played baseball for so long, and there are a lot of unwritten rules in baseball. Just in general. I mean, baseball is a superstitious and
Great sport.
Yeah.
Great sport. Well, let's just be honest.
So, and we might have some differing views on these as well.
Probably.
Possibly.
My guess is more than likely we will. But I think a major consensus, I think on a couple, like we're gonna agree.
Yeah.
But
I would say so.
I do believe we will have different views.
Okay, so first one I have written down here, and this is a big, like a lot of these will be really controversial.
Mm-hmm.
Bunting to break up a no-hitter late in a game.
Okay.
Should you do it? Yes or no? Or should it be an unwritten rule, I guess, is the question.
Okay. An unwritten rule I can understand, but should you be allowed to do it? Absolutely.
I mean, you can do any of these things, but you're going to be frowned upon by it.
I mean, okay, but here's my thing. If we're talking about you're just trying to get a hit, you have yet to be able to get a hit the entire game. If you're able to do something in the first inning, why should you not be able to do it in the ninth?
I mean, because personally,
I mean, don't get me wrong. If I was playing against a guy who I knew was having either a perfect game or a no hitter, I'm not fucking bunting.
Yeah,
I'm just being honest. I'm not gonna bunt.
And this is honestly probably a part of the pitcher coming out in me, but no. If I'm pitching and I have a perfect game and a no hitter, and a no hitter going, and somebody comes up in the ninth inning and gets a bunt single because the ball rolls foul, and then before anybody can get to it, it rolls back fair.
Yeah.
And somebody gets on base, I'm hitting the next person. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll get thrown out of the game probably, but I'm hitting the next person.
That's my thing. Is do I understand it? Yes. Would I ever do it? No, not by any chance. Because in my mind, it comes off as something that is just a cheap way of ruining a great game by the pitcher.
Yeah. I'm unwritten rule, absolutely. I think it should be a written rule after the seventh inning. If you don't have a hit, you are not bunting.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. Well, and
if I see you square around a bunt, I'm throwing at you.
Here's my thing. I would say probably after the seventh inning. Yeah. But for sure in the ninth inning, if that's how you're trying to get, you're like,
it's just a cheap way of trying to salvage your pride in a game where you have just been dominated.
Yeah. Speaking of no hitters.
Yeah, we're not gonna go there. Okay. So going on to the next one. I think we both agree there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do not do it.
Yeah.
Do not.
And honestly, I think I agree with you. It should definitely be a written rule.
Yeah.
Should be.
Okay. This is one that we prefaced whenever we first started talking about it. Showing up pitchers.
Oh,
as a batter. If a pitcher throws a hanging curveball or throws a fastball in the middle of the plate and a batter pimps it, or hit no doubt home run, everybody in the stadium knows that it's gone.
Okay, I guess I should ask this question. Are we talking about at any moment? Let me put it this way.
Any moment.
So even if you're up like 10 runs and you just crush one,
it could be that, or it could be the Jose Batista type play. Literally, anytime.
100%.
Anytime.
The Jose Batista type play should be in baseball.
Okay.
First off, that was a close game, a huge moment, and he crushed that pitch.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Now, if you're up by, I will say this: if you're up by 10 runs, just take your home run, run the bases. You don't need to watch. You don't need to watch it. But in a close game where it's a huge moment, by all means, bat flip, stare, and literally point. Look what I just did. That ball's crushed. You hung a curveball, you hung a whatever, and I crushed the shit out of it. But yeah, in a game where it's a blowout, just run the bases.
I don't think it should be a thing.
You don't think it should be a thing at all?
No.
Oh, I see. I want
again. This 100% could be part of the pitcher coming out in me, but well, I mean, I like the entertainment value.
Yeah.
As a fan and as somebody that loves the game of baseball and wants to have more eyes on the game of baseball, that's going to be one way of having more people see it by having those types of things happen. However, I also don't think at the same time that, I mean, that play, if you do your job correctly and you hit and you smoke a ball, that's going to be on SportsCenter regardless.
Well, yeah.
In a big game, like
Yeah.
if they take the Jose Bautista, like we've been referencing, take that moment, that home run, take the bat flip out of the equation. That is still all over SportsCenter.
Yeah.
It's still marked as one of the biggest home runs of the year, and it doesn't show. It doesn't end up in the next year all out brawl happening. Because that's really what more ends up happens from that. It's not necessarily the entertainment value. It's the next time that those guys play, somebody's getting hit, benches are getting warned, somebody else is going to get hit, and then benches are going to clear.
Well, to go off of that though, and kind of be like devil's advocate, the reason why I think it should be allowed, in all honesty, is okay. In football, if a guy makes a huge play, they get up, like a sack. I mean, they sometimes stand over the player, or they go 5 yards back. They're yelling, showing up, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, and I'm not really saying like it's an entertainment value in football, but it's just show of I made a good play.
Passion, yeah.
Yeah. In basketball, guy makes a highlight dunk, guy makes a three, like they do all their stuff.
Yeah.
In baseball, okay, if they get a hit, they sometimes go to the base and they do their whatever they do.
Yeah.
But if you crush a pitch, I mean, in my mind, I think you should be able to do it. I mean, and I don't think. I mean, I get your point about the entertainment value. I mean, regardless, it's going to be on SportsCenter. It's going to be shown. But in my mind, I think. I mean, if other sports are doing it, I mean, other than a pitcher making a great play, like pitching, like showing emotion after they get off the mound. What other time is an actual fielder or a batter going to be able to show emotion like that?
Well, then, I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But the thing is that what happens as a batter, whenever you do something like that, like after the game, you get questioned about it, things along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing comes down from league level. Like you don't get suspended. You don't get unless a brawl happens because of that.
Well, yeah,
then you might get a game for inciting, but it's the complete opposite from a pitcher's standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the Joe Kelly thing. He strikes he strikes out a player in a big moment and looks at them and pouts and like
that was awesome.
And
he
gets suspended for it.
I hate the Dodgers, but that was.
I mean, you have Jose Bautista literally throwing his bat for like 20, 30 yards maybe.
Yeah.
And then you have a pitcher who strikes out somebody it wasn't a big moment. He was just kind of rubbing it in his face, and I guess that might be the thing. But I mean, that's what Jose Bautista's doing.
But here's my thing. And with that, I'm also saying like I don't think pitchers should be suspended for what they do. Because and I agree with your point.
Yeah, if
the batters are being allowed to show up the pitcher should be allowed to show up the hitters.
Oh, by
100%.
far. And the thing is that it doesn't even happen as often. Like you literally every day you see a batter hammer a ball that everybody knows is gone, and they do some type of bat flip. They stare down the pitchers. They run down the first baseline.
Yeah.
They watch it and wait till it hits the stands before they start running. But very rarely do you ever see a pitcher show that type of emotion like Joe Kelly did or something like.
I think the worst.
You got what you got.
I think worse than staring the ball down, though, is what I'm pretty sure it was Bryce Harper. took like the slowest amount of time to round the bases after one of his home runs.
Yeah.
And I mean, both of us are huge Bryce Harper fans, but I think that's more disrespectful than,
for sure.
than staring down the ball. Is literally just like walking around the bases.
I'm waiting for the day that somebody hits a home run in a big situation and he just hands the bat to the catcher. I'm waiting for it.
Oh yeah,
it'll happen. But somebody will get the courage to do it. But I personally, I like the entertainment value. But if you're gonna allow batters to do that and you're not gonna allow pitchers to do that, I think it should be a written rule that you are not allowed to do that.
Can I say one thing? Mm-hmm. Because I know they have this in obviously like slow pitch softball. If you know a ball is gone, why are they like? Do they make you round the bases? Like, why can't they just be like, okay, we know this ball is crushed.
Same reason.
Just run to first, and there you go.
Formality.
Well, I understand
to make sure,
but
I mean, to give the other team the opportunity that if you mess up and miss a base, that you're out.
Well, I get that, which actually happened.
Yeah,
which
happened a couple times.
Yeah, but I just. Okay, let's go to the next one. We spent a lot of time on that one.
Don't step on the mound as a position player.
Sure. I mean,
that's a big one.
I would much rather have said as a baseball player, don't step on the chalk line.
That's on here.
Don't
step on the mound as a position player.
I mean,
if I'm pitching, I don't want any one of my if you're in the third base dugout and you're running out to left field, first base dugout. You're going out to left field. You're depending on where you come out of the dugout, your line is straight over the pitcher's mound to get out to left field.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm pitching, you better hop over the foul line. Number one. Number two, do not touch that mound.
Yeah.
That's my area. I don't want anybody. I've worked that in to where how I like it. I don't want anybody touching that.
I'm not gonna lie. I did that all the fucking time.
I know you did. But
I'm pretty sure at some points I did it just to piss you off.
See, but the thing is that not very often did you have to run past there. So
no, I was catcher. So
exactly.
9 times out of 10, I just ran straight to behind the plate. But whenever I did have to play the field, I purposely did.
I know you did.
Just to piss you off.
I know you did.
You and Kyle.
Yeah.
I don't know if Kyle would have had an issue with it, though.
He might not have. I did, though.
You did. I knew you did.
I do.
So every time I did it, you would spend a good 2 minutes before you even threw a pitch in between innings to fix
fixing it. Yep. I have it the way
I
like
I get.
And baseball is a superstitious game.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I was going to say is I think that's more of an unwritten rule because of the superstition. And just like jumping over the chalk line.
Just the foul line.
You don't touch, especially before the game.
Yeah.
You don't touch a chalk line. If you're playing like long toss, your ass better be in front of the line or behind the line. You better not touch that line. The ball better not touch that line.
Very true. That was the next thing was foul lines. But
okay, well I'm sorry. I didn't know you had that one written down.
You're good. But foul lines, don't touch them.
Yeah, don't touch them.
That 100% should be a written
100%.
Rule. Written rule. So should the don't step on the mound. Should be.
Well, and I'll give you one even better. Before the game starts, like the chalk line around home plate, that better stay good. So those coaches better be in front of the freaking home plate.
Yeah. Next one, yelling to distract fielders while you're running the bases.
Oh, it's while you're running the bases?
Yeah. So when you're if you're on first base and there's a pop fly and the second baseman's underneath it.
Yeah.
And you yell, "I got it." While you're passing him, so he.
I'll be honest. Playing YMCA baseball, I did that all the time, but that was more of just I'm just messing around.
Yeah.
Like playing high school baseball. Obviously, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
No.
That's a big no.
That's a huge just no.
Yeah.
Now if you're in the dugout, like just on the bench and stuff. Personally, I still think it's a huge no.
I think it's more common to yell E or error or
flash the E button.
Flash the E button.
No, but as a fan, 100%, yell I got it.
Yeah.
Or swing. I mean, whichever one.
Yeah.
But if you're playing and you're playing against somebody, no, you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
That's kind of like just a cheap thing to do.
Oh yeah.
Which
Bush League type thing.
Completely off topic, but do you get as annoyed as I do, like watching like softball and like how they do like their chants in the dugouts?
Yes.
Okay. Nothing against softball players, but
it's
baseball
and softball are just completely different.
Like the chants aren't needed.
Completely different games and completely different etiquettes and completely different camaraderie, I guess.
Yeah, it can be a whole different topic on the fact that I think any baseball player could hit a softball pitch and crush it, but that's a whole different issue. And I know Albert Pujols did it against Jenny Finch. I understand that, but
yeah. So next one. This is a big one.
Okay.
Stealing, swinging on a 3-0 pitch when you're up a lot.
We have to add that part in. When you're up a lot,
like if you're up by 5+.
I think you have to take a 3-0 pitch.
Okay.
Personally, I think you swing on 3-1, but not 3-0.
Okay. Were you stealing if you're up 5?
In YMCA baseball,
Okay.
absolutely.
Well,
absolutely.
We're talking like MLB here.
No.
Okay.
No. Unless you're just trying to pad stats and trying to break records.
I'm saying green light. I don't care if it's 3-0. I don't care if you're up 12. You swing the bat.
Well, okay. Here would be my only reasoning as to why it's okay. Is because you still need to be ready for those in-game situations later in the season.
Well, this is my thing. If you're, again, this is possibility of me, speaking as a pitcher again, but if you're down by a lot as a pitcher, and you're up 3, and you're down an account 3-0, you're having trouble locating.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm swinging 3-0, it's because either the ball is over the plate, or it's because I don't want a free trip to first base when we're up a lot. I want to put the ball in play and make the defenders do something. So as a pitcher, you'd have a better chance of getting the person out. And stealing, pay more attention. I will be the first to admit YMCA baseball, but the thing is, I would have done it in high school. But up by 10 in a YMCA baseball league, I stole home 100%, and was called Bush League for stealing home with being up by 10. My response: pay more attention. Pay more attention to me. I'm 3/4 the way down the third baseline.
Yeah, here's the other problem. First off, because obviously I was on the team when you did this.
Yeah.
If you're pitching from the windup when a guy's on third, that's your own problem.
Yeah.
No offense, but that's your own issue.
Yeah.
Because you're basically giving free reign for that guy to get at least halfway down the line, which is how both me and you stole home multiple times.
And that one time, I didn't even. It was more of the catcher's not paying attention to me. Literally, I was.
By the way, the person that you stole home on, I'm pretty sure watches our podcast.
Good.
So.
You know who you are.
You know who you are.
Yeah, but
you can comment and call us Bush League again too.
Yeah,
that's
but
fine,
I'm halfway to 3/4 the way down the third baseline when the catcher has the ball and he doesn't look back at me with me that far down the line and just nonchalantly throws it back. Heck yeah, I'm going.
Well, here's the other problem. Better yet, I'll give you one better. When I stole home and I slid into home,
you're not gonna let that go.
No, before the pitch even got there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but I understand we were up by 8 at that point in time, but if you're not paying attention to me and I get there before the pitch is even there, which honestly, I don't know what the rule in baseball is about, like, stealing home before a pitch even crosses a plate, because I'm pretty sure that ball almost hit me in the head.
Probably.
But,
might knock some
like, if you're not paying attention that much and you're pitching from the windup, I'm sorry, but that's on you.
Yeah.
Like, if you want me to stay at third base, pitch from the stretch.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I'm all for it. Steal when you're
now.
Obviously,
in MLB, I don't think anybody's stealing home.
Well, no, but I don't care if you're on first base and you're up 7 and they're not paying attention to you. By all means, steal second.
Yeah.
If they're not paying attention to you on second, by all means, steal third.
Yeah, I'm down.
Swing 3-0. I don't care. Again,
Okay,
entertainment factor.
The 3-0 thing, that one I gotta say, I think you at least take that pitch.
But here's the thing though. If you go if you're in a 3-0 count and the pitcher's struggling that much, are you doing that much of a service to the pitcher by letting him walk you and more embarrass himself, or are you doing more of a service to get the game going by swinging at a 3-0 pitch that probably could be called a ball and putting the ball in play to up the entertainment factor possibly, or well, not possibly, up the entertainment factor because nobody wants to watch 4 people get walked in a row.
Here's my thing about that then. If you're not swinging at the first 3 pitches, if you're trying to get the game going, you're swinging at every pitch, regardless. Do you see what I'm saying?
I mean, but if you don't have if the ball's bouncing in front of the plate,
doesn't matter. If you're trying to get the game going, you swing.
Nah.
Pull Vladimir Guerrero. Hit the ball off the bounce.
I mean, true, but
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Well, I know, but I'm saying if you don't have the opportunity to swing at any of those 3 pitches, like if one's way over your head,
Yeah, no, I get
ergo one of our teammates in Busch Stadium, but throwing the ball in the dirt or 10 feet outside, you're not gonna have a chance of hitting it. So I mean, if you have a pitch that's somewhere around the plate,
just for those who don't understand the Busch Stadium reference, one of our high school teammates threw a curveball that those of you who have been to Busch Stadium, the backstop, he threw it about 3/4 of the way up the backstop from the mound.
It was funny.
on an actual pitch.
It was funny.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
I mean, it was a curveball. It released out of his hand. I guess he released out of his hand wrong. I don't know.
It was funny.
Anyway, we'll go to next. Did you have any more?
Yeah, I got plenty more. Next one is, this is actually one that I don't mind. Okay. That many people really like swear by, and that you might be surprised that I don't care.
Okay.
You don't talk to a pitcher during a no-hitter or a perfect game.
Okay.
So as a pitcher, I don't mind it.
Here's my 2 cents on this. I agree with talking to the pitcher, but you don't want to talk to the pitcher about, hey, did you know you haven't given up a hit?
Yeah.
Like obviously, I'm still gonna talk to the pitcher like, oh hey, for this next batter, like what are you thinking? Mm-hmm. Like just like I normally would, but I'm not gonna be like, hey, have you looked at the scoreboard? You haven't given up a hit.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna say that.
See, I don't
you don't talk about a no hitter.
See, the thing is,
you don't bring it up,
and you know this from whenever we've played together. But when I pitched, anytime that I wasn't out like in the field and pitching, and like whenever I was in the dugout, I didn't talk about the game.
No.
I mean and that's YMCA. I mean that's high school as well. I didn't talk about the game. I mean I was still focused on what was going on. I knew.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I don't think any of us talked about the actual game playing YMCA.
Well, very true.
we literally were just jacking around in the dugout the whole time.
But I mean, I still knew what was going on. I still knew what I needed to do, and was still focused on like, oh, there's 2 outs this inning, or I'm gonna be up to bat soon, or going through my normal things. But even high school, I never talked about the game while we were in the dugout. It was always something along the lines of, who's got the sunflower seeds and trying to
I'm gonna be honest. Speaking about sunflower seeds, we literally came to like a consensus of like this week you're bringing sunflower seeds, and if that person didn't bring them, it was like a travesty.
Oh, it was
like you had to bring like at least 5 bags.
Oh yeah,
because
and it better be flavors of all kind.
Oh, I mean I never brought ranch. I didn't like ranch.
I know.
Sorry,
I'm aware.
I know,
but I mean,
I never brought ranch.
you're bringing at least the. I mean, most people like the ranch ones here. I mean, you're bringing at least 2 bags of the ranch. You're bringing at least a
barbecue
original salt and pepper, maybe dill pickle every once.
The dill pickle one, I brought that, tried it, not a fan.
I didn't mind it, but I mean,
was not a fan.
You've got the Buffalo Ranch ones that were good.
See, I didn't like ranch. That's the problem.
I know, but I mean,
that's the problem.
Those were a big hit too.
I didn't bring the ranch because I don't like ranch.
Maybe that needs to be one of our top 5 segments for a future. Top 5 seed flavors.
Well, for me, like I've only ever tried like 3.
Okay, well,
so 3, I wouldn't be able to do like 5.
Yeah, true.
I mean, obviously for me, number 1 is probably barbecue.
Yeah.
and then original.
Yeah, it's just a travesty.
Sorry. Any more?
I got 3 more.
Okay.
Don't make the first or third out at first base. By the way, also
No,
the
at
one
third base, you mean?
first or third, yeah. First or third out at third base. But
okay.
but also like what he said about the no-hitter thing. Do not talk to a pitcher about them having a no-hitter.
Yeah.
Don't
100%.
don't in the dugout. I don't care if the pitcher's out on the field and you're in the dugout not playing for that day or whatever the case may be. Don't say it at any point. You never say anything about them having a no-hitter.
I'll give you one better. If you are at a major league game that you're lucky enough to be at, and a guy has a no-hitter, and you're in the stands,
Don't say it.
everyone knows. Don't worry. Everyone knows what is going on.
The pitcher
do not talk about it.
The pitcher knows what's going on. He might, after the game and the post-game press conference, he might say, "Oh yeah, I had no idea." Believe me, he knows exactly
what's going on. He can say, "Oh, I had no idea until about the 8th inning." No, he knew what was going on the entire fucking time.
Yeah, because I mean, you've got players on each team that you're looking at. You're like, okay, this guy's pretty dangerous, and you recognize the fact that they've only been up to bat twice in the game.
Yeah, like you believe me, that pitchers of all people know how many hits they've given up.
We are one of the most superstitious people, but we also are like one of the more well aware of things that are going on.
If you're at a game, do not even in the stands talk about, oh hey, like we may witness history today, because the minute you talk about it, you're not going to see it.
Broken up. The pitcher's going to get pissed, and then something's going to happen, and you're all going to end up
running. Oh, not just that, but if you're around certain fans at stadiums,
they'll fight you.
I would say especially Cardinals fans.
Well, they'll fight you.
They will look at you like you're an idiot because you don't talk about it. Like you don't. So
that is 100% a written rule.
Okay, so what was this next one? Sorry.
You never make the first or third out at third base.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I think that needs to be a rule.
Well, okay.
Well, I mean, there's no way to write that rule, but it needs to be followed.
Here's my 2 cents on this. The first out, I can understand.
Absolutely not.
If you're trying to be aggressive.
Absolutely not.
But I still say, you need to just stop at second base, take your loss.
Because in what situation are you saying that's okay to make the third out at first base or the first out at the third base?
Leadoff hitter.
Okay.
I don't know.
And you're stretching a double into a triple? You have 3. You still have 3 outs to get a single.
I'm just giving you an example.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, first, third out, definitely third out. Like that. No, that doesn't need to happen.
No.
I would rather you have the third out be at the plate.
Yeah.
Than at third base.
Make the other team make a play and don't run yourself into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Another big one. Don't rub the area or you get hit by a pitch.
Oh yeah. You don't rub it.
No, they got ice.
Yeah, you especially in baseball, like you have ice. I took numerous pitches. Believe me, it doesn't hurt.
I mean, depending on who you take it from, but
and depending on if it hits you in the head and you don't remember the rest of the game.
That's true.
That one kind of hurt. Not gonna lie. I might have rubbed that one just because I fell to the ground and didn't really know where I was, but but that's a whole different issue.
Standing on first base, that was kind of funny at the time, but
I'm not gonna lie. All I remember about that one is the first base is here. I can't really. Okay, first base is here, and I run to the dugout.
Yeah,
I run to first base dugout instead of first base.
You had a pinch runner waiting for you on first base by the time you got there.
Yeah, all I remember is Coach Bond is just yelling, "Get down!" I just went to the ground. I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
saw 3 pitches that day. First one hit me. Second one was a fastball, and the third one hit me in the head.
Yeah,
it's good times.
The last one, which I didn't see anywhere, but it's just one that I personally am.
Okay.
And actually 2. I just thought of this one.
Okay.
No rigorous. This is just one that I always lived by, and my family and close friends that have known me for a long time know.
Okay.
No type of rigorous physical activities on game day. So I've always had, me personally, I don't like to swim in general, but me personally, I don't care if it's the game is at 7 at night and somebody's wanting to go swimming at 10 in the morning. Mm-hmm. I don't do it.
Okay.
There's no ever any swimming on game day. There was never any type of You might do like a light, warm up workout, but no heavy workouts, nothing, no physical rigorous activities.
I'll give you one better. It always pissed me off back in like JV that we had weightlifting day the day before a doubleheader.
Yeah.
For a conference.
Yeah.
Like that made no sense to me.
No.
Because it's not like we're doing lightweight. Like they wanted us to work out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so we're working out the day before we're playing a doubleheader.
Yeah.
Like,
That was just a big one for me.
I never understood that.
That was just a big one for me. And then another one. This one's more on the superstitious side of everything.
Oh, God.
You don't say the R word on game day.
The R word?
The R word. It's a 4-letter word. See if you can figure it out.
The R word on game day.
4-letter word.
Rake.
Nope. You're close, though. First 2 letters are right. It's wet.
Oh, yeah.
You never say the R word. Those people that don't know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
it's rain.
Yeah.
You never say rain on game day.
Yeah.
As a former coach would tell us, that you will piss off the baseball gods.
we piss off baseball guys by not running fast enough.
Yeah, true. But
What the fuck are you
just
talking
never
about?
you never say rain on game day.
Coach Harris,
You're just waiting for
Coach
it to
Harris.
happen.
I know you're not watching this, but sorry we pissed off the baseball guys back in my sophomore year.
Yeah.
We
miss ya.
I apologize for the slow 15-minute run that I couldn't do because my knees were shot from playing catcher 4 times that week. But sorry.
Yeah.
Still miss you though.
We do miss you.
I miss old Ebony.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, I like that segment.
Yeah.
Well, not really segment. That was actually like our topic, but
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's just I think really the main key is just I don't care. Like run up.
The main key is a lot of our superstitions come from baseball.
Yeah, I mean, run up, and it even transfers over to even other sports other than baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Run up the score. Like if the other team's not gonna play to the best of their abilities, if they're gonna nonchalantly, half-ass it, so to speak.
Yeah.
I don't care. Run up the score. If you want to steal the ball with 5 seconds left in a basketball game, go do a 300 or a 360 alley-oop off the backboard between the legs. Do it. I don't care. Well, here's the onside kick with a 4 touchdown lead. Do it.
The only thing I will say is the reason why I see like professional athletes not running up the score is because like, what's the point? I guess. I guess for them. But yeah, I mean, if you're playing
contract incentives.
I mean, that is true.
I mean, you're talking about millions of dollars.
That is true. I mean, if you're trying to get certain stats,
I think
certain stats that year. Ooh, the best one that we saw, and this is one I think we need to talk about, is celebrating an empty net goal.
Well,
in hockey, do you celebrate or do you just take the goal, go back to center ice? For me, I think it depends on the situation. If it's a 2-1 game and you score an empty net goal, 100% you're celebrating. If it's like 3-1 in the playoffs and they pull the goalie hoping, I think you just, unless it's a hat trick, I think you just.
And even if it's a hat trick, that's more of a celebration for the fans. You just kind of go, kind of skate by the bench, get your high fives, kind of be like, oh yeah, it was a great game.
I've seen sometimes where like if they score an empty netter, they don't even skate by the bench. They just literally come back to center ice or do a line change and they're just like, we're done. Like,
yeah. Ooh, there was one that we didn't talk about. Injury in soccer. See,
okay,
for those that don't know, in soccer, if there's an injury on the field while the game is underway and being played, play does not stop. While the ball is being while the play is going on, even though there's a player down, the play still continues until the ball goes out of play.
I think in soccer, if you have possession and you're getting ready to go on a breakaway, 100% you're not kicking out of bounds. But if you just have possession and you're just passing it around, yes, kick out of bounds.
See,
do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you have numbers and a guy goes down behind the play, keep playing.
Yeah. See, my thing is, and most of the time it doesn't really happen that way. Most of the time it is like a genuine hard tackle or somebody goes up to head a ball and they collide heads.
Which nowadays, I'm pretty sure in regards to like the head collisions, it plays automatically stopped. I don't even think the balls are going out of bounds anymore. No, I'm pretty sure like head injuries they stop play.
Depending on the severity.
Yeah. Well,
depending on the severity.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's, I 100% think I should be a written rule. Anything coming to player safety should be a written rule. Like, hard fouls in basketball or.
Well, that's my thing though. Is I agree with that it needs to be kicked out of bounds, but I think like I said, if a team has numbers and they're like going on like a run, like I'm talking like. They play like they get the ball. A player goes down and they play like had already played a through ball. I don't think the whistle should be blown.
Well, see, my thing is that if it is a genuine injury, I don't care what the situation is. Kick the ball out of bounds. I don't care. Like honestly, if you're playing, if you're making a run and going in to score a goal while the other team not only is down a player, but recognizes they're down a player and is wondering what is going on with their teammate that's down and if it's a serious injury and their mind is not into the game at that second. Like, honestly,
I guess
you're kind of a piece of shit for scoring.
I guess the other problem, though, with that is how many times a guy, and I'm saying guy because a lot of times it happens in like the men's soccer. A lot of times a guy goes down as, like, not necessarily a flop, but not really as injured as what they may think they are. So it's like if a guy's down behind the play and the ref isn't blowing the whistle, but like you see a guy down, and then they may just be going down because they know that you're about to break. Are you saying that you should still kick out? Do you see what I'm saying? Like how are we supposed to know how severe it is? When a lot of times in soccer, a guy, I don't want to say flops because
you can tell. Though. You can tell. Like if you have a light challenge and somebody goes down, you can tell if somebody's doing that. Which also, just while we're on the topic, a lot of people like throw shade at soccer players for flopping. I can tell you that like some of those that look pretty light hurt like a bitch.
Oh yeah.
Granted, you're seeing play, they get stepped on, things along those lines. But what most people don't recognize is that a lot of the soccer cleats that we all see in everyday type, have the rubber, the rubber actually cleat part of it.
Yeah, but it has like the metal on the bottom.
Yeah. Professional soccer players have metal spikes on the bottom of their cleats.
Yeah.
So, they're getting stepped on, and their metal cleat is going into somebody's foot.
Well, and my thing is, like, okay, a soccer flop is not like what LeBron does in basketball.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. So.
But I do 100% think that even if a player, like, goes down, you can 100% tell if it's a genuine thing. And if you have a breakaway one-on-one with the keeper, it's 90th minute, and somebody goes down with an injury, kick it out of bounds. Okay. I don't care. Like I still think that, and you'll get a lot of shade for it. Not necessarily a professional player will get a lot of shade for scoring on a team that has a downed player. That's something that's literally all over sports networks.
I would agree with that.
And the thing is that team and that player gets a lot of backlash, and then something ends up usually happening.
Yeah.
For unwritten rules, I
say we move on to our top five.
Top five? All right.
Top five. And this week, the top five is going to be top five sports cities. And I have some honorable mentions.
Okay.
Do you want to do honorable mentions first?
Yeah, hit me with them.
Okay. So one of my honorable mentions is Detroit.
Yeah.
Honorable mention. Mainly not necessarily for baseball per se. They're pretty good baseball attendance, but mainly hockey and basketball.
Toronto.
I have Toronto as another
okay.
honorable mention.
That wasn't it?
Well. What?
That wasn't it?
What?
The one that you were just about to say. Hockey and basketball. Or were you just talking about Detroit?
I was still talking about Detroit.
Okay. I thought you were leading into another honorable mention.
Oh, no, I was just talking about Detroit.
Okay.
Another honorable mention is Grand Forks, North Dakota for hockey. They love their
North Dakota State.
North Dakota.
Or not North Dakota.
North Dakota State's Fargo.
Yeah.
But they love their hockey team in
Yeah.
Grand Forks, so
Grand
I had to give a shout out. Number 8, I hate their fans, but Nashville
Yeah.
for hockey and for football. And even Vanderbilt, I mean they have pretty
True.
good showing. So
True.
number 7 may surprise you, but Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I tell you what, that may move into my top 5 here in the next few
Pretty
years.
shortly.
And the reason is not necessarily for their actual fans of like their actual teams, but that's going to be a huge sports town.
Oh yeah.
I mean, A, you have betting, and then B, you have now hockey.
NFL.
Do they have soccer yet?
No.
I think they will.
Yeah.
NFL, and pretty sure they're looking at trying to bring in basketball.
Yeah.
So it's like they're going to be a sports city.
Oh yeah.
Number 6, again, it may surprise you, Seattle.
That doesn't surprise me. Seattle's crazy.
Well, but I mean, like, not my top 5.
Oh yeah.
Like, they're honorable mention. So
They'd be an honorable mention too.
those are my my honorable mentions. Do you have any other ones? Oh well, and I had Toronto.
Dallas.
Okay, honestly, I wouldn't put them in my top 5.
I mean, I wouldn't put them in my top 5.
But yeah,
Dallas.
I'll give that a solid. I see. Okay, I was gonna say a city like Miami, but
Miami
they're only ever like nothing against Miami fans, but they're only ever really around if their teams are good.
Yeah.
Same with like honestly Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I mean the Tampa Bay Rays World Series last year, their attendance, crap.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
I mean even better. I'll give you one. Their hockey,
Yeah.
Stanley Cup.
True.
I mean obviously yes, last year.
Yeah.
The fans weren't allowed in, but
Yeah.
not really that great of attendance.
Yeah.
So that was my honorable mentions.
Yeah, I'd say Seattle would be an honorable mention for me as well.
And don't get me wrong, it was hard for me to not put Seattle in the top 5 because I mean they love their football team. When they had the Supersonics, they were very much
the Bay Area, like San Francisco.
Oh yeah,
like San Francisco,
Yeah.
Gold, like the Giants, Golden State.
yeah.
Like that's a pretty good area.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a city, but
Did you say the Giants?
San Francisco, yeah,
San Francisco 49ers?
the San Francisco Giants.
Oh, never mind. Oh, wow.
But yeah,
Oh, my.
You know the
It's
team-
freaking late.
the team
Holy
that
shit.
wins the World Series in even years.
Yes.
But
Yes,
I'd say
Brayden.
it's a good.
Oh
I'd say it's
my
a good
God.
sports
It's
city
late. Holy
/
fuck.
area.
Do you have any more honorable mention, or do you want to get in our top 5?
Top
So
5.
how do you want to do this? Do you want to do like
5-1.
like? Well, I mean, like, do you want like
Well, it's
me to say 5? You say your 5?
Yeah, we'll go. Well, 5, 5, 4, 4. 3,
Okay,
3.
that's what I meant.
Okay.
Okay, so number 5 for me, Chicago.
Okay.
Obviously here recently, I mean, their attendance for Bulls games not too high.
There's a reason for that.
But yeah, I mean,
They're on the up and up.
Yeah.
They're on the up and up.
I will say this. I'm not a fan of their hockey team, but their fans travel
Yes.
very well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't really know if they travel or if they just have fans all over. But nothing against their hockey team. I mean, they have fans. When they won the Stanley Cup, you saw how many fans showed up to their parade. So, I mean, I would say Chicago's definitely a sports city, especially Cubs. White Sox, maybe this year.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see. But they're 10-9. They won tonight. So
Yeah.
But yeah. So I have Chicago number 5.
Okay. My number 5, Los Angeles.
Interesting because they were my number 4. So
That's funny. So yeah, LA. I've got it at 5. I have them at 5 just because I mean, Lakers story franchise. I mean they've got fans all over the place.
I was gonna say your reasoning for number 5 is probably the same reason I had them in number 4.
Yeah, I mean Dodgers. I mean
Yeah.
it's just a storied sports city.
Yeah.
I mean with the Rams now. I mean they were there in the past, but the Rams and Dodgers.
Now they have the
Clippers.
Now they have the Chargers, who obviously, I mean, it's the Chargers, but
Yeah, even Clippers too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just really a great. I mean, now you've got the two the Los Angeles Galaxy and LAFC, and
Yeah, I mean,
they've really built a sports metropolis in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
and
I'll be honest.
fans
That's
are
why.
diehard fans.
That's why I had him at number 4. So you go ahead and say your number 4 because I already said mine.
My number 4 is Chicago.
Well, hey, there we go.
For the same
reasons.
And I mean, Chicago fans, just like I said about LA, just diehard fans. I mean, as a Cardinals fan, I'm not a big fan of Chicago. I don't like the Chicago Cubs, but I mean, you stick by a team for 108 years without winning, and plenty of fans did
You want
it.
to know why you stick around for that long? All the beer,
For the party.
all the beer that you can get at that stadium.
Yeah,
Which I've never been there.
I have been there once.
I want to go back just because I want to experience like the history of that stadium once.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
don't
cool.
want to experience the horse trough to pee in, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
Hit me with number 3.
Number 3, old St. Louis.
Okay.
Obviously Cardinals nation. I mean, nothing. It's called baseball heaven for a reason. I'm not a Cardinals fan by any means, but I've never had a bad experience at Busch Stadium with fans. I've never had a bad experience going to a game there. Obviously, I'm a Blues fan, and you saw during the Stanley Cup run, which don't get me wrong, obviously there was some probably bandwagon fans that hopped on, but the city loves its teams.
Yeah.
When the Rams were there, city loved the Rams. Obviously, they were pissed when the Rams left. You still have chance of Kroenke sucks.
Oh yeah,
So
literally any sporting event you go to, whether it's a Blues game or a
hell at the
Cardinal
Blues
games.
at the Blues Stanley Cup parade, they had chance of Kroenke sucks.
Yeah,
I mean, and Kroenke had nothing to do with anything
yeah.
with Boston.
We're
So,
still upset that the Rams.
But I
left.
mean, you like let me put it this way: the XFL
yeah,
was in existence
Hawks.
for not even a year, and they had the highest attendance of all teams.
yeah,
So St. Louis, they're a
and-
sports city.
and getting a soccer team soon.
Oh yeah, and I can only imagine
St.
what
Louis
the
City
attendance.
FC.
I can only imagine what the attendance there is going to be
Yeah,
because that stadium's going to be legit.
and I think the real thing is that a lot of people say that Kansas City is like the soccer mecca of the Midwest.
No, it's St. Louis.
because St. Louis doesn't have a team.
Yeah, it's only because St. Louis doesn't have a team.
As soon as the MLS team gets set up in St. Louis,
Yeah, and I will be
gonna be
honest.
crazy.
St. Louis is known as a baseball city, but people don't realize how big of draw soccer is there too.
I mean, yeah,
It's
really anything: football, soccer, basketball.
and
I mean,
people finally saw that hockey is
yeah.
big in St. Louis too. I mean, they have I want to say they don't have like one of the biggest attendance because like, they can only fit like 18,000 in their arena, but they sell out
a lot.
most if not every game. Even when they're losing, they still have great attendance. So, and this year, believe me, they've
not been good.
Well, I mean, COVID has kept the attendance down, but
True.
that's a whole different issue. So, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is New York.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, New York, I was kind of going back and forth with 2 and 3, whether to put them at 2 or whether to put them at 3. Obviously you have the storied rivalries in New York with New York and Boston, with New York Yankees and Boston Red Sox. You've got the Knicks and the Nets for a little bit when they had their rivalry. The Bad Boys Knicks and the Bulls. And of course, I mean, it's New York.
Yeah.
You've got the Mets, the Yankees.
Well, the reason why I say interesting is because I have New York number 2.
Yeah. But yeah, it's
So-
just New York is New York.
Yeah. Well, and that was my thing is the reason why I have New York is you've been around for the days of Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig,
Yeah.
Mickey Mantle. I mean, you have history.
Oh yeah.
You have the Giants. You have the Mets. You have the Jets, but you have the Jets. That's all I'm going to say about that. But the New York Red Bulls.
That's true.
I mean,
NYFC too.
and NYFC. So you have plenty. Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
New York Knicks. You know what I mean? I mean, they have very storied history, storied sports. that I think it'd be an injustice not to have them top 3.
Yeah.
For sure. And I had them number 2. Obviously, I think, in my mind, I think St. Louis and New York could battle.
Yeah.
The only reason why, and honestly, the only reason why I think my top 2 is over St. Louis, and even Los Angeles, I probably could have put over St. Louis too, but I just don't like the Dodgers, so I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Is St. Louis, I think, needs to, at some point, bring in, like, an NBA.
Yeah.
Which I don't think they will, because I want to say they had an NBA team back in the day, and it just wasn't a huge
they did.
draw. And to be honest, it surprises me.
I think honestly, I think it would do better now.
Oh, me too.
And I think a lot of it had to do with maybe basketball not being as popular at that time.
And now, St. Louis is a metropolis for basketball talent. I mean, you have, and I know it's not necessarily like, well, it's still St. Louis area, Belleville.
Yeah.
You have Chaminade, St. Louis Christian. I'm trying to name like a whole bunch of teams that they have. I mean, you have a ton. St. Louis University High School, like. I mean,
you have SLU for college.
And SLU for college. I mean, you have plenty of basketball talent down there that. But that's the reason why I don't think I can put them in my like number 1 for sure. Is they. I mean, if we're going off of just sports cities, I think they need to add. I
think that they might eventually. I just think that whenever the NBA team was there before, a lot of the focus was at that time on baseball.
Oh, which baseball has always been the top sport in St. Louis, and it even
always will be.
Yeah, I mean, even when soccer comes and I'm not even going to say the Blues are ever going to make it to the same amount of championships as the Cardinals have, because that's going to be a while.
11, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a while because fuck, it took them 50 something years to even win their first Stanley Cup. So Okay, well, yeah, I'm trying to move on. So what's your number 2 then?
St. Louis.
Okay, well, I assume that's probably... I guarantee we probably have the same number 1 too then.
Probably, but yeah, St. Louis for me, again, I'm biased. I'm St. Louis Blues fan, St. Louis Cardinals fan. I'm still a Rams fan.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but there's just something about...
Hey, they're looking promising this year, though.
Yeah, they got a better quarterback. There's just something about being in St. Louis, being around, being in like the downtown area when there's a Cardinals game going on. You've got people walking around in Cardinal jerseys. It's just red everywhere.
Well, and I'll even say this is, and obviously, I've only ever been to, like, baseball wise, Royals, Cardinals, White Sox.
Yeah,
but I will say, St. Louis might be like one of just the easiest places to drive around to get to a game.
Yeah.
And everything's just downtown.
Yeah.
I understand like other places might be just as easy, but you can park blocks away and you're not in a bad part of St. Louis.
No.
Like you're going to be perfectly fine.
And like you said,
I'll be honest, unlike Chicago where you don't park at the stadium, nothing in Chicago, but it's
like
sketchy.
United Center is like in a bad part of Chicago.
Oh yeah, basically United Center. If you go 2 blocks any direction, you're not
a good part of town.
Yeah.
But like you said, baseball heaven being in St. Louis. It's not every place that you go that you have opposing players that used to play for that team. Literally, no matter what the circumstance is, it could be a bench player that is coming into St. Louis, maybe played, 1 or 2 meaningful games for the franchise in the 4 or 5 years they were there. They get a standing ovation.
Yeah.
They, the fans appreciate the work that they put in, and the team recognizes that as well. You see it every year whenever a player comes back and you have like Yadier Molina. He makes sure that those players get their due when he walks out.
Oh,
and just
yeah.
kind of stands in front of the plate.
This year, Colton Wong's like ovation coming back, where like his first at bat, he's like fighting through tears, trying to.
And you've got Albert from a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, well, and I mean,
that was even under the worst of circumstances when he left.
Yeah,
I mean, fans hated him.
And I'll be honest, like I definitely appreciated the fact that Cardinals fans like gave him a standing ovation, which was due.
Well deserved.
Cardinals fans could have been pissed off about him leaving for money, but what he did for that organization, he deserved every standing ovation that he could have got.
I think even one of the biggest.
And I want to say he got a standing ovation every game.
He did.
Like it wasn't just a
every game, and I want to say that like that entire series, I think, other than maybe like Molina when he came up to hit, I want to say that they were the loudest for him in every at.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest was David Freese.
Well,
for good reason. But
as it should have been.
I mean, David Freese, and that was literally any time that he came back to St. Louis, and again, like in multiple days in a row, he would get standing ovations.
Well, and I'll give you one better, because we were at this game. Chipper Jones was last time playing at Busch.
Yeah.
Fans, every time that he was up to bat, they were standing giving him an applause.
Yeah.
And it's like, he never played for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
But yes, they knew that it was his, farewell tour, but that just, I mean, and maybe every fan base would do that. But it just goes to show like how much that fan base is into baseball though.
Yeah.
Also, it's not just a fan base that they're fans.
Yeah, I mean,
Nashville Predators fans.
Yeah, like you said with Chipper, and I mean, the other one that comes to mind. I mean, granted, he was a Cardinal, but I mean, Matt Holliday. I was at his last home game.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was
hitting a home run.
That was an emotional farewell.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I can only imagine what it's gonna be like when Molina leaves.
Oh yeah,
because I mean, I've told plenty of people I don't care what the ticket price for that game is going to be. I want to be at that last home game that he's going to.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm not a Cardinals fan, but I would love to be.
There's something.
I would love to be at the game where it's his last one, but I mean,
there's just something about it.
This is the thing though. He has not fully said if this is his last year or not.
I know.
So who knows if that's going to be his last game and.
I think
he's doing that on purpose because he doesn't. I don't think Molina's the type of guy that he wants a recognition. He's not that kind of guy.
He's not that kind of guy, but I also think that he's also the kind of guy that he wants to play as long as he can, and he's going to stick it out for as long as he can. He's going to play until his body falls apart.
100%.
But yeah, there's just something about being in St. Louis on game days, whether it's the Cardinals, whether it's the Blues, whether it's St. Louis whenever they end up or the soccer team whenever they come up.
Tell you what, I don't know how much those ticket prices are going to be for soccer, but I would love to be that opening day.
Yeah.
Man, but yeah. My number one, and I'm assuming based on some of the teams that we have not said yet, I'm assuming this is probably your number one, Boston.
Yeah.
I
don't think there could really be any argument there.
Yeah, I don't think there's an argument. Red Sox, storied franchise. Bruins, storied franchise. Patriots, which technically isn't Boston, but Boston area, so we're still counting it. Celtics. I mean, Boston is a sports metropolis. There's a reason why I put the number one. Yeah. Believe me, I am not a Bruins fan. I can respect the Red Sox. I can respect the Celtics. Hate the Bruins.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm a Patriots fan, so that's a whole different issue. But I have to respect the fact that their fans are fans.
Yes.
And I mean they're going to be fans for life. It's not just we're jumping on the bandwagon. No, like they are full on fans. They are and they love their teams. Every Boston team, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean they love their teams.
They're all for it. Yeah. And that's why I've had them at number one. I mean,
yeah.
I don't. I don't think you can really argue for anybody else.
No, and that's my thing is.
I mean, you don't have other cities in the United States that have top level teams in every sport.
I mean, I guess you could say New York, but the problem is,
Knicks.
yeah, the problem is they don't have a storied NBA franchise.
No.
Like, and I mean, people are gonna be like, oh well, Los Angeles, okay, but if we're counting Los Angeles, yeah, you have the Lakers, yeah, you have,
The Rams and
the Dodgers,
the Rams and the Chargers, though.
yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have the Rams and Chargers.
But then the Rams, I mean, you can argue that the Rams are one of the better franchises, but that was when they were in St. Louis.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
greatest show in turf was in St. Louis.
Exactly. So my big thing is Boston is really the only.
It's been around the longest.
It's really the only city that has every single sport that has championships and are known for championships.
Winning. Yeah. I mean, Celtics have how many? The Patriots have how many? The
Well,
Bruins
the Patriots have 6.
Yeah. The
Bruins
Bruins have a couple.
They have a few.
The Red Sox have a few. I mean, it's just
good old Red Sox. I mean, I and like I said, I can respect the Red Sox. I mean, I'm not a Red Sox fan. My brother is, but I can respect them.
yeah. I mean, it's just a great sports.
And I'll be one to say that one of my favorite players to watch of all time in baseball was Jason Varitek.
Oh yeah.
Varitek, not
Manny,
even really that big of a player, but I
Poppy.
just like the way that he played catcher. So.
Yeah. Poppy, Pedroia.
Well, yeah, I mean, those are the
Yeah.
Pedroia is that guy.
Yeah.
Oh man, the way he swung and just looked like he was about to fall over every single time and still hit it out, just unreal. But with that being said, we're probably gonna wrap things up.
Yeah.
And we kind of went over this tonight, but I mean, we were talking. Who cares?
Yeah, it goes.
But stay engaged with us. Like, subscribe. I'm gonna say it again. Subscribe.
I'm gonna watch you till you do it again. Keep going.
Okay. But yeah, stay engaged with us. Like us on Facebook. All of our other social medias at the bottom. But with that being said, we will see you guys next time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Subscribe.
Do it.